Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating the BERG balance test and rating scale. And this starts off first by just standing up. And I don't have a partner with me, so I'll be doing this by myself, kind of assessing myself as best as I can. So able to stand without using hands and stabilize independently, which I would get a 4. Next is, so that would be sitting to standing, and that would be without using hands, stabilize independently. And then it would go to standing unsupported for 2 minutes, which I would spend the 2 minutes, but that would make this video really long. But I can stand for 2 minutes, so that would be a 4 as well. So next, sitting with back unsupported but feet supported on a floor with a stool. I don't have a stool at my house, so I'm just gonna sit sideways without being supported by the back of this chair. And so for a 4, I would be able to sit with arms folded for 2 minutes, which I'll demonstrate for a few seconds to show that I can do this for 2 minutes. But for the sake of time, I'll keep going. So standing to sitting. So I'm gonna feel the back of the chair here. And for a 4, that would be sit safely with minimal use of hands. And I had no use of hands, so that would also be a 4. Transfers, so arrange chairs for a pivot transfer. And I don't have a chair that has armrests, but I will demonstrate this using a couch right here. And it says, ask subject to transfer one way toward a seat with armrests and one way toward a seat without armrests. You may use 2 chairs or a bed and a chair. So 4 would be able to transfer safely with minor use of hands. So I'm gonna start right here and pivot transfer and pivot transfer again. So got that. I'm gonna readjust my chair to this spot again. Okay, let's see. Okay. So next, standing unsupported with eyes closed, and to do that for 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be a 4 because I was able to stand 10 seconds safely. A 3 would be stand 10 seconds with supervision. A 2 would be 3 seconds, and anything less than that would be a 1 and a 0. Standing unsupported with feet together, which I guess my feet were already pretty close. They were about a couple inches away, but now that they're together, and I need to be able to stand without holding independently 1 minute by myself to get a score of a 4. Again, for sake of time, I'm just going to show you that I can do that for a few seconds. Next, reaching forward with outstretched arm while standing. So lift arm to 90 degrees. Stretch out your fingers and reach forward as far as you can. So I would imagine, let's see. When possible, ask subject to use both arms when reaching to avoid rotation of the trunk. So I'd imagine just reaching out like that. Pick an object from the floor from a standing position. Let's say I dropped my pen. And pick up the shoe slipper, which is placed in front of your feet. So that's actually right in front of my feet. That worked out pretty well. And I was able to do that safely and easily. So that's a 4. Turning to look behind over left and right shoulders while standing. So turn to look directly behind you over towards your left shoulder. And repeat to the right. And it says examiner may pick an object to look at directly behind the subject. I was just looking at our clock back here. And it says looks behind from both sides and weight shifts as well, which I was able to do. Next is to be able to turn 360 degrees in a full circle, pause, and then turn in the other direction. So there's one, pause, and then in the other direction, there's the other one. And that would be in 4 seconds or less. So that would be a score of a 4. Placing alternate foot on step or stool while standing unsupported. I'm gonna have to makeshift something here. With a shoebox. And I'm gonna try and get that into the picture. Okay. Placing alternate foot on step. So place each foot alternately on the step. Continue until each foot has touched the step 4 times. So that's been 2, 3, 4. And I was able to stand independently and safely complete 8 steps in 20 seconds. Okay, getting down to the last few of the BERG. Standing unsupported, 1 foot in front. So place 1 foot directly in front of the other. If you feel that you cannot place your foot directly in front, try to step far enough ahead that the heel of your foot is ahead of the toes of the other foot. Okay, to score 3 points, the length of the step should exceed the length. To score 3 points, the length of the step should exceed the length of the other foot, and the width of the stance should be approximate to the subject's normal stride width. So, I was able to place foot in tandem independently and hold for 30 seconds. So I get 4 on that one. Next is stand on one leg as long as you can without holding. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could keep going, but it says as long as you get over 10 seconds that you will score a 4 on that as well. So my total score was 56, which is the maximum. And yeah, that's the BERG. Okay, Michael, I will be conducting a test with you today to see how well you balance yourself in a sitting position. It will involve you sitting with your best posture and balance, as well as moving in a seated position to reach and scoot. I might lightly push you to see how well your balance reactions work. I will be right here next to you to make sure you are safe if you lose your balance. I would prefer if you could perform the test without using your hands for balance, but if you need to use your hands, you can. I will remind you to not use your hands during the test. If you need a break, let me know, and I can pause to let you rest. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, now sit with your hands in your lap. We do this for 30 seconds, but obviously he is balanced. Okay. Next, I want you to sit and nod and say no. So remain sitting.
No.
I want you to shake your head.
No.
Remain
No.
sitting steady and tall without using your hands unless you need them to keep your balance. When I tell you to look right, keep sitting straight, but turn your head to the right.
No.
Okay, looks great. All right, now sit with your eyes closed and remain still with your hands in your lap. And that would be done for 30 seconds as well, but he's doing great, so we're gonna move on. So sit with your hands in your lap and lift this right foot 1 inch off the floor like this. Perfect. Okay, can we do this side? Great. Okay, so now I want you to pick up an object from behind in your preferred direction. So one of those masks on the couch. If you pick that up. Great. Okay, you can put that back now. Now reach with your stronger arm as far as you can while staying balanced. And keep your other hand remaining in your lap.
What am I reaching for?
Anything, just as far as you can.
Behind me or in front of me?
In front. Okay. Awesome. Now, reach out to the side as far as you can and be sure to get all your weight off of the opposite side of your bottom, keeping your feet on the floor. Let's see. So, lift all the weight off of that bottom when this can be on the floor, and just lift the weight off of your butt while you're leaning that way. Great. Okay, now will you pick up this dog from the floor, please?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now you can set her down. Okay, now move 2 inches back, but try not to use your hands if possible. Great job. And I measure the 2 inches, but we don't have a measuring tape. Okay, now move forward 2 inches towards the edge of the seat without using your hands. Great. Okay, now move sideways 2 inches with your hands, without your hands, to your right. Awesome. And that was my assessment. Okay, first I want you to walk at your normal speed from here to the end of the measuring tape. Great. Okay, if you turn around, so before you start, let me explain. I want you to begin walking at your normal pace for 5 feet. When I tell you to go as fast as you can, and then when I tell you to go slow, walk slowly, as slowly as you can for 5 feet. Okay, go. Now fast. Now slow. And can we try that again, but to do it not interrupted? So just smoothly stop into your slow pace. Does that make sense? Okay, go. And slow down. Great. All right, so begin walking at your normal pace, and when I tell you to look right, keep walking straight, but turn your head to the right, and then when I tell you to look left. So look left, now look right. Now look straight. Great job. Okay, got a couple more for you to do. So, next, this is with vertical head turn, so keep looking until I tell you look down. Keep looking up until I tell you to look down. Then keep walking straight and tip your head down. Keep your head down until I tell you to look straight, then keep walking straight, but turn your head to the center. So, ready, go. Now look down. Go ahead and look up. Great job. Okay, now I'm gonna go find an obstacle for you. Okay, so begin walking at your normal speed. When you come to the shoebox, step over it, not around it, and keep walking. Great job. Okay, next, begin walking at normal speed, and when you come to the first obstacle, walk to the right side of it, and when you come to the second one, walk around to the left side of it. So you're just gonna weave between these obstacles. And go ahead. Awesome. Okay, so next we're gonna have you walk up some stairs. and you can use the railing if necessary, but don't if you are unable to, except we're gonna have you walk up, so I will meet you. Okay, now walk up the stairs normally without the rail. Okay. Awesome. Great job.